All right, joining us now with reaction is Senator Roger Marshall from the great state of Kansas. Senator, good to see you. Listen, do you have confidence that Joe Biden will have an effective response when he can't even place the blame at the feet of Iran? Is he going to respond, do you think, appropriately?
No, absolutely not. Once again, Joe Biden has given us war through weakness. And it's hard to retroactively to get his reputation back. Once you lose your reputation, you never get it back. I want to remind your listeners of what President Reagan did in 1988 when Iran mined one of our warships. And he responded by military attacks on Iranian oil platforms out in the ocean, as well as taking out 3 of their warships. Look, everything needs to be on the table. We need some type of response yesterday before we lose even more American troops.
How about starting, Senator, with turning off the crude oil dollar spigot for Iran? Let me just be clear. Joe Biden and his team are bankrolling and funding the tax by Iran on America. They are bankrolling and funding a tax that just killed 3 service members, period. They have done nothing to stop the flow of this oil. What is wrong with them?
Yeah, where is the common sense in the White House? But to your point, when Joe Biden became president, Iran had $6 billion of reserves. Today, they have $100 billion of reserves. Today, as we speak, Iran has 500 ghost ships using flags from other nations to guise the oil from Russia that they're selling to China. So we shouldn't just punish Iran. We need to punish anybody that helps them. Whether they're lending them a flag, all our allies need to double up on our banking sanctions. We need to work together. They need to shut down their airspace. We need to shoot down their military satellites. There's so much we could do from an economic standpoint as well as from a military. And finally, diplomatically, we could go back and push the Abraham Accords.
Wouldn't that be pleasant? I don't know if that's going to come, Senator, but I want to move to this. We'll see how Joe Biden's plan plays out. But the White House is claiming a mini victory today in its fight against fentanyl trafficking. They're teaming up with none other than China to try to stop the drugs from pouring into our nation. But if we've learned anything these past few years, don't get too excited about anything done by this administration. Here's a harsh but necessary reality. Check from former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. He was on Capitol Hill this morning and had this to say.
The likelihood of Xi Jinping delaying precursors for fentanyl moving into our country is precisely 0. He has been determined to continue to poison our children here at home, and I don't think any action taken by the United States Department of State to sort of relieve them of any penalties, restrictions, prohibitions is likely to change his direction on that.
Senator, I couldn't agree with Secretary of State Mike Pompeo more. But we'd have a working group to stop the flow of drugs coming from China into Mexico, into the U.S. It's a communist country. If Xi Jinping wanted to stop the flow of drugs into our country through Mexico, he could do it by a snap of his fingers, but he refuses, so I don't have much faith in this working group. Do you?
No, none at all. Look, we need less talk and more action. What Americans need to realize is that China grows these fentanyl precursors just like we grow wheat in Kansas. This is a crop to them, very economically advantageous. And if that's not scary enough, right now, the Colombian cartel is getting geared up as well, making these fentanyl precursors. So regardless of what happens in the future, we need a president that's going to come in and secure our border to stop this fentanyl from coming in. We need a president that's going to gain the confidence and the respect of someone like Xi Jinping as well.
I heard writing. Do you have a follow-up?
No, I don't. Go ahead. That's a loud pen.
But if there was a decent relationship with the communist government of China by Joe Biden, all he would have to do is also snap his fingers and tell Xi Jinping to stop. Tell the independent refiners to stop buying oil from Iran. That is basically the sole buyer of Iranian crude. So it's all China is funding Iran and killing our young people.
Yeah, it is just that simple alone. Remember that President Trump got China to stop shipping the fentanyl, and that stopped overnight, just like you said. And then what Chinese did is start making the precursors and sending them through Mexico as well. So you're absolutely right. If our enemies respected us, we could get them to stop doing things like this. And again, we could use trade as a leverage. There's lots of things that we could do, but Joe Biden lost his reputation. He's never getting it back.
He is not getting it back. Senator Roger Marshall, always a pleasure. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.